Good morning, everyone. I hope you all are doing great. And I hope my voice is also audible. Is it? Can someone give me yes? Voice is too low. Okay. Is it all right now? Is it okay? Yeah, cool. So let's just wait for a couple of minutes more for our attendees to join. Then we'll start. Maybe by 10 to okay. I think we can start now. Yeah. Hi, Vivek. Good morning. Welcome.
I
Hi. I'm
just give
Saika.
me like 20 seconds. I'll just turn on.
Yeah,
Uh,
sure. I hope, guys, like my voice is all audible, right? Yeah, this meeting will be there in YouTube. You can check it out later. I hope everyone is sitting with a cup of hot tea with them this morning. Is it still low now? Okay.
yeah, I think there's some issue switching on the video. It says host has stopped it. I don't know.
Yeah,
Some
just check.
control.
Just check now, Vivek.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all right. I think there might be some network issues in your end. Vivek, can you hear me perfectly all right?
Yeah, I can hear you. Fine.
Yeah. Guys, you need to check your internet connections as well. Maybe. Yeah. Okay, so let's start. Good morning and welcome everyone. I'm Saikat, the host for today's session. First of all, thanks all of you for joining today this Saturday morning. And I'll promise you, this effort won't go to waste because we are joined today by Vivek, who himself is a very great resource person for the day. So let me just introduce quickly who Vivek is. Uh, Vivek is a seasoned product professional with over a decade of experience in shaping the tech industry. As a founding member and head of product at a cutting edge startup, he has honed his expertise in both consumer and B2B sectors, including IoT, EdTech, SaaS, and HR tech. His impressive career includes roles at industry giants such as HireRight, Samsung, and Microsoft. He is also an alumnus from IIM Bangalore, where his product management expertise extend beyond his professional endeavors. He serves as an influential mentor and a faculty member at platforms like Upgrad and Knowledge Officer, where he guides the next generation of product leaders. In addition to corporate contributions, Vivek has also co-founded Hey PM, a community dedicated to fostering product enthusiasts. His commitment to nurturing startup is evident in his role as an angel investor and consultant, where he empowers early stage companies to effectively scale their products. Vivek is also a celebrated content creator in LinkedIn, for which he has been a recipient of Graphic Creator Grant. His insights do demystify the landscape of product management for budding enthusiasts. So, without any further ado, let's welcome the man of the hour, Mr. Vivek Shivaswamy.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah,
Um,
Vivek, the
Thanks
stage is all
everyone.
yours to converse. And just a side note for our participants, the Q&A section is open for all your queries. If anyone has any queries related to the session, you can put your questions over there, and we'll be start taking it once Vivek starts wrapping up his delivery. Right? Yeah, Vivek, the stage is all yours. Thank you.
Okay. Good morning, everyone, and hope you're having like a nice start to the weekend. I know it's Saturday morning, and good that you're all here. So let me quickly share my screen. Let me know when you can see my screen.
Yeah, the screen is visible.
Okay.
I can see.
Okay, so today primarily we'll be spending some time on understanding what user journey maps or customer journey maps are, and we'll focus on e-commerce journey because I think that's where user journey maps are used quite a lot, right? And we'll try and understand more, how product managers use user journey maps, where exactly it comes in handy in the entire, product manager's job and life cycle, right? And yeah, I'd like to keep this session more interactive. So if there are any questions, feel free to ping on chat, and we'll try and answer, whenever it's relevant, right? So one thing all of you have to know why user journey map or customer journey map is important, right? So this wanted to start with this quote, right? So your customer doesn't care how much you know until they know how much you care, right? So what that essentially means is, um, so it's your product should be solving a customer's problem at every step of the journey. It's not just, see, product manager's job actually begins once the product is rolled out into the market, right? So it's not like, okay, I'm going to do a lot of market research, I'll build an awesome product, I'm going to launch it, and then everyone will start using it, and I don't have to worry, right? A product manager's actual job starts after you've launched your product, right? And that's where the customer journey map or user journey map comes in, very, very handy. And again, this is where your job exactly starts, right? You're going to start and measure every step of the customer journey, understand what kind of pain points or problems they're facing, and how you can tweak that, solve that. So there is also a lot of data coming in at each step, right? So with access to data dashboards, insights, wherein define events at each step of the journey, customer's journey through your product, through your application, right? And you try to understand probably where they're dropping off, where they're facing issues, something is not working as you expected it to work, right? So that's where user journey map comes into the play. So this is what we're going to discuss or spend time today, right? So before getting into user journey map or customer journey map, I wanted to give like a quick overview on user persona, because this is more like a precursor. Like you can't build a user journey map without a persona, right? So user journey map is not uh, applicable to all the personas or all the user segments, target segments which your product might be targeting. So it's very, very important for you to understand what a user persona is, and a user journey map, whatever you're kind of drawing, it's primarily for that particular user persona, right? Which you have to find. So that's why I wanted to have this discussion first. We'll spend some time on user persona and then we'll get into the user journey mapping, right? So what exactly is a user persona? So this is basically the bookish definition, but uh, essentially user persona is nothing but a fictional character, right? Who is representing your potential buyer or user of the product, right? So it's more like you're trying to define the traits or characters of a real person who would eventually go ahead and use your product. And this is all based on the user research which product managers do, right? So you go and interact, can be face to face or over video calls, do a lot of interviews, focus group discussions with all your um, you know customers, right? And then you come back and pick one core user persona which you feel uh, would use your product the most, right? So we'll take an example of, let's say, Amazon, right? So when they launched, their core user persona was basically people who wanted to buy books, right? And they did a lot of research and understood that people staying in let's assume metro cities, right? I'm trying to give like India specific example, right? Let's say people who are working in metro cities, working professionals, busy lifestyle, and they don't have time to go to a bookstore and basically search for their favorite, books and buy. Considering this, Amazon built, you know, um, basically an online ordering experience for books, right? So this is, let's say, a very simple example of one user persona, right? So essentially, that's what a user persona is. It's more like a semi-fictional character. So it represents again different customer types. It could be a potential customer, it could be a current customer. You also learn a lot of things when you're, defining your existing customers also as part of the user persona exercise. So that's why it could also be your current customer, or your ideal customer is basically you're talking about potential customers who will use your product in the future, right? Completely based on your research, and this helps you in asking the right questions, right? So that's why user persona is very, very important, right? So again, this is sample. So I gave you an example of user persona for someone who wants to buy books on Amazon, right? Initially when they wanted to start. So this is again some examples of different user personas, right? Pete is like a casual user, uses most of the phone features, uses phone to make, use contacts, send texts, take pictures, always has mobile device with him, right? Let's say you're trying to build uh, um mobile application which is related to productivity, right? So that's when you could use these user personas, right? So these are some of the user persona examples. Again, just wanted to bring this up so that you understand what a user persona is before we get into the journey maps, right? So what benefits you get? So you try and put yourself in the shoes of the customer or the user. You try to understand what kind of, pain points the user needs, problems, whatever, uh, behavior they are exhibiting, right? So that will help you to chart out the entire journey. So that's something we're going to discuss next, right? And also helps you to identify not just uh, see, whenever you're building a product, you might be focusing on one bigger problem, which is let's say we'll go back to the same example, right? Book ordering example. Bigger problem was working professionals busy, they just wanted to order book. Now in order to define the user experience for ordering the book, you just not solving, I know that I want to build an online ordering experience, but how will each step of my journey look like, right? So that's where the journey map comes into the play, right? So first step, what they will do, second step, what they will do, third step, what is the checkout experience, after checkout delivery experience, after delivery feedback or review experience, right? So there are so many steps which is involved in just this simple problem of online ordering which we wanted to solve, right? So that's where the journey maps come into play, right? And also helps you again understand some of the patterns, right? So this is the reason why product managers go ahead and define user personas. A lot of times you also collaborate with your design teams to basically build the user persona, right? So how you typically build is like start with the research, right? You segment your audience. So segmentation is one of the first steps before you identify which user persona you have to pick and start solving the problems, right? STP is what you start with. And then I think so there are a few tools. I'll probably show one of the tools to you all, like how you can quickly um, draw a user persona or user journey map using these tools, right? Towards the end, we'll spend some time on that, and then define their demographics, define persona's background, their goals, motivations, frustration. These are basically the pain points, problems, right? And anything else you want to add, and then that's what the persona is ready. So this we looked at this, right? So this is basically a persona, right? Which is very, very high level. But if you want to detail it out, it looks something like this, right? Again, there are multiple different templates. So what we saw a few slides back, that is also user persona. If that is good for your research, you can stop there. But if you want more detailed version of a user persona that can help you probably dive deeper into understanding what this particular user persona is, then is more detailed persona you have, better is your understanding, right? So you can put yourself in the shoes of that particular user persona and try to think what kind of pain points, and that will help you build a better product, right? So this is an example of a well-made user persona. Again, there are a lot of templates for you to use. You can just go online. There are a lot of tools available, right? There are a lot of templates even on Notion as well. So that is something you can get started with, right? So with that, we'll get to today's topic, right, which is journey mapping. So before we get in, um, like wanted to understand from you all. I think you can ping on chat also, right? I just highlighted couple of these things from the user persona discussion, but from what you understand, from what you know till now, what do you think are user journey maps? How many user journey maps do you need? Is it for every persona? Who should be involved in the process? Is it something only product manager does, or is there someone else involved? How much time you should spend? So any thoughts, start putting it up on chat. I'll just go through them. Okay, 2 to 3 user personas. 3 to 5 per user persona, correct? Mm-hmm. Journey maps for all user personas. Yes. 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 Yeah. I think most of you kind of got it. So see, ideally, user journey maps. Uh, Before you create a user journey map, the process is you try and do mostly around three different user personas, right? Out of these three user personas, one will be your core user persona, right? Core user persona is that persona which probably brings you the highest usage of your product, right? Let's say there are millennials, Gen Z, and baby boomers, right? All these three are different user personas, right? Out of this, I feel, Gen Z is what my product is made for. But I'm going to define all three user personas. Then I'm going to pick Gen Z, and then I'm going to deep dive into Gen Z, understand their user behavior, and then create a user journey map, right? So essentially, you need separate journey map for separate persona. One journey map doesn't work for all the personas, right? So a Gen Z's behavior might be different from millennials behavior or a baby boomer or senior citizens behavior, right? So you need different journey maps for different persona. How many user journey maps? Again, it's depend on the user persona, right? So at least one journey map for one persona. So sometimes what happens, same persona itself might exhibit slightly different behavior. So within user persona, what we do is with the data, we try and identify, different cohorts within that persona. So you could essentially split even the journey map based on such cohorts, right? Cohorts are nothing but um, subsets within the user persona who are exhibiting similar behavior, right? Who are trying to do the same set of things. Let's say, I go to Amazon and the first thing I click on is basically trending products, right? And there are 100 other people who are also doing this. So this becomes one cohort, right? I'm giving again a very simple example, but that's a different journey map which you're going to chart out, which is a different cohort, right? But one journey map for one user persona who should be involved. So it's typically product manager and design team kind of co-owns this journey map because there are a lot of product and design decisions you take based on the inputs or insights from the journey map. Again, so product and design, there are sub you could say teams which are linked, like there is let's say some companies have a separate research team, so they would also be part of it. Some companies there'll be pre-sales team, so they'll also be part of it because they will also give inputs there directly facing the customers, right? So those teams could also be involved, but it's more like co-owned by product and design team, right? How much time? So now with availability of all these tools, it's very easy to create a journey map. So we'll look at that tool. So it shouldn't take much time. So that's the conclusion, right? So in journey map, basically what you try and understand is um, what exactly customers think and feel about your product, right? You've solved a bigger problem, but are is their problem being solved in an easier way rather than they're getting probably confused or getting lost within your product, right? So for example, this diagram right now, it's very confusing for users to understand, right? So there is customer care here, right? Email, they're asking about when my order is going to be delivered, right? And this is the warehouse, this is the shipping. So this again quote which talks about why storytelling or customer journey map helps you convey the information in a much easier way than just putting up raw data, right? So that is something you should understand. So uh, I think once you look at the journey map, you'll understand this better. But what exactly a journey map includes is the buying process or the entire journey the user is going to take within your application or product. Different actions they have to do, right, within your product, and emotions. So emotions, nothing but how they feel about every step of the journey, right? So this is an optional field. Like, you, if you want, you can use this. It's just for, making the customer journey map look better or easy to convey. Someone is looking at your journey map. If you've added emotions at each step of the journey, people will know, okay, there are some bad emotions, so these are the steps we need to solve for, right? Easy way to convey. But an optional step: pain points and solutions, right? Solutions is something which you are driving out of the entire journey map, right? So essentially, when you're drawing the journey map, your outcome is you map out the entire journey of the customer, map out all the actions your customer is taking, how they're feeling, what are some of the pain points they're facing, and finally try to derive solutions from this entire journey map, right? So when I say solutions, I'll give you a simple example, right? Um, so we'll go back to the Amazon book ordering experience, right? Let's say I'm not able to find my favorite book, right? I come to the homepage, there are some trending books listed. I go to the search, I put a search, I'm not able to find my book, right? Now that's a negative emotion, right? So how do we basically, so my pain point is I'm not able to find the book when I search for the book, right? So search is the step. Here my emotion is negative. So what could be the solution? Improve your search results, right? So let's say instead of typing the exact name of the book, I'm typing the author name because I don't remember the name of the book. That is a pain point. So your search should also include search by author name, right? So if I search by author name, then also my book should come out as a result, right? So I'm giving you a random example, but that's what the journey map would eventually drive, right? So that's the solution. Benefits, again, this most of it we've already discussed, right? Reveal customer experiences over time, like when they're navigating through your product, right? What kind of experience they are, facing, and how you can refine each and every step of your product, your user journey, user experience, right? So try to define events which you want to measure. So one more application or why user journey map is important is when you map out the entire user journey, you also try and identify what events you need to track in order to basically capture the data and analyze the data, right? So identifying, defining events also is more like an outcome of the journey map. If you have mapped out your journey well, you also know, what is it that you need to measure, right? And yeah, I think benefits, that's at a high level, right? So we look at some examples. So what I did, I've um, brought up two examples. One is a brick and mortar store example. Again, these are both commerce related example. Then I have a e-commerce example, right? So this will give you, contrasting views of different journey maps, right? How journey map used to be, like, let's say if we are looking at a brick and mortar store, and how journey map is now considering an online buying experience, right? So, but essentially, you're, as a product manager, you're doing the same thing, right? You're mapping out the entire journey. So here, if you look at the journey map, right? So you basically look at the entire journey. So let me highlight this, right? So you're starting here. So you basically are going to office and car, you stop at Starbucks, you enter, you walk in, you basically stand in the line, order, pay, sit, drink, work, pack up, leave, go back in car, right? And there are some things which you are trying to define here: anticipate, you enter, you engage, you exit, and then you later reflect, right? So here at each step of the journey, what's happening, right? So here, see, this is like the baseline. This, anything which is above this is like an enriched experience, and this is where ideally you want to be. And this is poached experience, right? So as soon as you enter, there is like loud music, you're feeling very cold. That's a bad experience. So can we improve this, right? So I'm driving solutions from the pain points, and these are the solutions. Put up a good aroma, create a good ambience, right? Here again, this is something which is not under our control, works in with a worry, right? And then during the engage part, like fake greetings, factory type line, confined spaces, very loud. These are some things which will basically create a bad experience to the customers, right? So instead of this, you try and map what exactly you would want to, you know, provide users as an experience, right? So again, this is like a very, very basic version of a journey map. So if we look at the online version, right? So again, this is coming from a template. So this is what you will probably see in any of the tools today, right? Whenever you look at user journey map. So I talked about emotions, right? So this is like an emotion representation. We talked about different stages of the journey, right? The buying path, right? Then there were user actions or the activities. Then customer expectation is basically the pain points or what they want, what kind of experiences they're facing again, right? So first, what is the motivation? Like there is a event, can be Christmas or anything. We talked about Amazon book, like I want to find my favorite author's book, right? I come search, you know, this is again including Google as well. I'm not talking about one particular, right? I search for whatever I'm looking for, a gift, product, click on the first result, check online, go to the first, check out what deals are going on, evaluate different products, add to cart, and then pay. So here at each step of the journey, what's happening, right? Here, easily obtain discount news. So this could help me, right? It's excited to give a surprise to the friend. If I know that there is a discount, I can go and easily get it, right? Easy to use search engine, right? Happy to see many options, but confusing of what to choose. When I search, there are like too many options. If I go and search on Google, right? So if you look at Swiggy, they made uh separate gift corner, right? So whenever I want to buy a gift, now I don't go to Google and search, right? So I have a ready-made space, which basically, so this is an outcome of someone basically drawing out the journey map of how people buy gifts today, right? Or I would go to, F&P, right? Because I know those are the places where I can easily buy gifts, right? So that's where journey map comes in very handy. This is an online buying experience of gifts, right? Typically starting from a Google search or somewhere else, right? So such experience is bad. So what can we make to improve? Useless info, right? Unnecessary ads, right? Um, Before I get to the actual search result, there are three, four different ads which I have to go through, right? Which are probably not relevant. They're like being pushy. Their website doesn't have relevant content, nothing, right? Again, check online, go to the first original result, not the ad result. This also could be improved, innovative web design, right? And then checks out ongoing deals, very happy, right? So first step itself, user is able to find out a lot of good deals. Uh, they can basically look at what helps. So emotions are nothing but basically each step of the journey, what's the feeling which a user is experiencing, right? Then I go ahead and evaluate the products, product evaluation, like frustrated about reviews from other customers, right? So I'm not happy. So what can we make? Put higher quality products which gets good reviews. That is something which can improve this emotion, right? So this is in summary, what uh, user journey map would look like and how we're going to uh, track or map each step of the journey, right? So I think we'll pause here next. Let me see what I had. So case we'll look at the you know tool. Before that, I'll probably take questions, right? Okay. Chat. Let me look at chat first. Emotions and reviews. So emotions are basically what is the user's feeling at that particular step, right? So when I'm searching, so if we take this example, when I'm searching online, in this step, I'm overall satisfied. In this step, because there are a lot of ads which are showing up, I'm not happy. I'm unhappy, right? So that's basically the emotion you capture, right? What defines the baseline? Baseline. So see, baseline is nothing but see, whenever you are mapping out the journey of the user using your product, you basically try and list down pain points at each step of the journey, right? And you try to identify if the user is feeling good or bad in that particular. So if there are not much pain points and you're getting like very high conversion in each step. Let's say 100 people come into first step and then 80 people are going into the second step. That's like a good conversion rate, right? And there are not many drop-offs which are happening. So that becomes your baseline. So your baseline is basically your previous metric, what it was, right? So that's always your baseline, and it is something which you try to, keep improving, right? So what product managers measure is, so let's say this is your funnel, right? 100 people come, 5 people check out, right? That is actually a good conversion, right? And that's what a lot of good e-commerce sites have, which is 5 to 10%, right? Out of 100 people, 5 to 10 people actually check out buy a product, right? And that's a good conversion. So your metric is obviously to improve your number of checkouts, but you also measure what happens at each step of the journey and try to, let's say, first step 100 people come, second step 50 people drop out, right? That's a bad experience. So you try to understand what are the pain points they're facing on the second step. So let's say here a lot of search results ads are coming up. So can you solve that issue? Can you probably build a customization or recommendation engine which will make user to go to the third step and not drop out, right? And it will improve your conversion. Like out of 150 were going forward, let's say out of 100 or 60 are going forward. So that's an increase in metrics. So your previous baseline was 50, right? Which tools can be used? So there is UX Precia, Extensio. These are like popular tools. We'll look at one of the tool now. I'll share that screen. Okay, I think slide part is done. Let me share that screen itself, right? So that you can all look at it. Share. Yeah. So I think this was for Uber. Yeah. This is something I've done a couple of months back. But yeah, so this is the user persona. This is a tool. So in Expressia, you can directly start creating a user persona, directly start creating a journey map. So this is something which will come up as a template, and you can pick and choose which stages. Like you can basically customize each and everything, right? Whatever you want to solve. Like channels, if I don't need, I can drop this. This is like everyone is on smartphone. If there is switching between channels, then I can use this. If not, I can remove this. Process what kind of pain points. So this is the emotion part, right? Like this step, they're sad. This step, they're okay. In this step, they're happy, right? Ideas or opportunities. So this is the solutions part, right? So this is basically how I'm going to map out, right? So UX Precia, there is a free version in which you get, I think, 2 to 3 journey maps. So that is something you can look at, right? Or extensive is also good. Customer expectation is possible solutions. Yes, yes. Customer expectation is what they would like to see, right? Again, so different templates will represent it in a different way, but essentially they're talking the same thing, right? It's just the nomenclature would change. You can probably pick one which makes the most sense for you and then try sticking to that, right? And this is a user persona. So working professional, Amazon, living in Mumbai, very interested to invest in stock market, etc. So you can edit this person as well, right? And trying to take a Uber ride, sign up, log in, pick the destination, select cab, coordinate with driver, ride, drop. So these are the steps. Pay and then give feedback, right? Substages also you can define. User goals. So easy to log in, all of this he wants to do, right? Easily locate, pick up, finding the best cab, minimum correspondence with driver, right? And what is happening? Asks for OTP every time, login issues with Gmail, forgetting username, auto detect location, always takes wrong pickup point. So this is like a basic problem which a lot of senior citizens, face, right? Unable to find the address while typing. So these are, I think, some things which you have to look at, right? Okay, so there are more questions here. Okay, what are the key questions to be asked for a B2B product while creating a journey map? See, journey map would remain the same, right? Whether it's B2C product or B2B product, it's just that the stages what we have defined here and that will change. Let's say it's a B2B product, probably. So it depends on where you want to start the journey, right? If you are a product manager, you will probably exclude the onboarding part, because onboarding is essentially, let's say it's not a SaaS product, there is no self sign up, right? So you're talking about, let's say, B2B enterprise product. So your user journey starts once your user basically gets onboarded and starts using your product. So right from, let's say this is an applicant tracking system, right? So you set up the customer account, you send out invites, and then a user joins your platform, right? So what's the sign up? So that's the first step. Sign up. So they get a invite, they click on the link, they have to set the password, and then they log into the ATS, right? And they set up the initial, company page, whatever configurations they want, and then they go ahead, post a job, start receiving applications, they do candidate management, and then they hire someone, right? So that's a typical journey of a B2B product. So journey map is going to be the same for B2C, B2B, just that the stages will change, right? So done. How do you start identifying different types of users on platform? Should we think of age group, profession, new product, a lot of personas? See, typically user personas are so I think this question is from Himanshu. See, user personas are defined when you are trying to identify a target segment that basically is your core, let's say, so like we talked about Amazon book ordering experience, right? Or even I think Uber when they started, or um, when I think Zomato started, their core user persona was people who wanted to um, you know read about restaurants, right? Research about restaurants before actually they go and visit, right? So not everyone would want to do that. There would be certain segments within that particular uh, you know pain point you're trying to solve who would be more inclined in trying out your product or application, right? So what is that persona is something you want to identify. So profession or lifestyle, see, whenever you segment or identify user persona, you try and define everything in one bucket. So you can give any name to the user persona you want to, but their profession, lifestyle, age group, everything falls into one place, right? So it's not like I'm going to do age group by user persona and then I'm going to do a different profession wise user persona. If you're doing age group wise user persona, then try to fit in your profession in that as well, right? So just that your starting point could be either age group or profession based or something else, right? But you're going to define that. So if you look at this particular persona here, right? So I could segment this as uh, users residing in metro cities. So that is one way to segment. Other segment is working professionals, right? Other segment is people interested in stock market. But I've combined all of this. Just that starting point could be different, but essentially what I'm identifying is okay, so there is this millennial guy who is a working professional at Amazon, works as a software developer, right? Living in Mumbai, very interested to invest in stock market, very busy guy, right? So that's what becomes a user persona, right? Um, yeah. User journey maps for each different persona. Yes. I think this we already discussed. Every persona will have a different journey map. Okay. B2B product, I think this also we discussed. So any other questions? I think I've kind of answered. Let me look at the how about processes with long steps? Can we subdivide the journey? Yeah, so I think I can make this as long as possible. I can keep adding stages, right? So even if you divide the journey, it's about what you want to focus on, right? So there, if it's a very big company, there will be product managers who will be focusing on just the checkout piece, right? So like if I want to give an example, um, at Samsung, there were 10 product managers for Samsung Pay, just one product, right? And each PM was focusing on a particular step of the journey or 2 to 3 steps of the journey, right? So it's always okay to divide or subdivide the journey. It's about what you are focusing on as a product manager, but you are essentially in the journey map charting out the entire journey, right? So this is something probably as a team you would do, but you could focus on whichever step you would want to, right? How do we make sure we pick the right target segment user as persona? So this is based on your research, right? So you will go talk to millennials, Gen Z, senior citizens. You'll try to identify their pain points. You have an hypothesis in mind. Okay, this is the product I want to build. You try and validate with all these three personas. Then you come back and decide that okay, a Gen Z is what actually fits well to my product. So that will become your target segment or target user persona. Doesn't mean you're not going to target millennials or senior citizens, right? Your core user persona would be Gen Z. If they others also want to use, they can use your product. It's not like you're blocking them out, right? But your initial positioning will be towards Gen Z, right? So that's how you pick a user persona. How to write a user persona in the entertainment industry? It's all the same, right? So industry could be anything. User persona, the process would remain the same, right? So it depends on what problem you're trying to solve, and for that particular problem, uh, who are the different users who are facing that problem, right? And how does their typical lifestyle look like, right? So that becomes a user person. Now, many such combinations, age group, profession, interest. Yes. So you could segment based on multiple different factors, like I said. It's just the starting point, right? So I can segment a population by multiple different ways: income groups, metro cities, urban, rural, age group, gender based, profession based, interest based, right? So it's your starting point, but you have to go deeper and deeper. So how do you do market sizing? Market sizing, you start with a top down approach, right? You take up the population, you keep segmenting until you find out, okay, this is my user persona, this is the target segment I want to focus on, right? So starting point could be from age group or could be from anything, but you keep drilling down until you find, okay, this is what I want to focus on, right? The smaller the group, the better it is initially whenever you're launching the product, right? Then you start expanding, right? how to measure user emotions. Again, so this is all data based. When I say tools, again, you define events there. Can be, Mixpanel or uh, any data analytics tool you're using, right? You could send the data to a CDP like segment, and then you could use any analytics platform, Google Analytics, Mixpanel, Amplitude, Hotjar, right? And then you try and identify user emotions based on the data. Data can be like a heat map, right? Or it can be a measure of drop-offs. So a lot of drop-offs means user emotion is basically bad, right? So that's how you're going to measure user emotions. So right now in our company, we don't use UX Precia. We were using Extensio, but yeah, I think we kind of maintain it on a simple PowerPoint, right? It's not about the tools, it's about how well you mapped out the journey. So you can use any tool you would want to, right? User journey can be different for the same steps. Yes. So it can be entirely different for different persona. That's why it's important. Every journey map is mapped to a persona, right? How will we upgrade the product? So see, you can't solve if you have solved for multiple different personas, then it becomes a mass market product. If you are a niche product, you're solving for a particular user persona, right? But end of the day, as a PM, you can't solve for everyone. There's always something which one user persona wants, other user persona does not want, right? But your product is being used by a lot of user personas, right? But you try and identify, pick and choose what matters to your users the most, who brings you the most value, and try to solve their problems, right? So there'll always be a core user persona, there'll be other user personas, right? So first you going to pick and solve for your core user persona, and then if other user personas also have a sizable number, right? Like let's say 50% is your core user persona of users, and there are like 30-20 split from other user persona, then you're going to focus on their problems as well. So that's how you typically do it. So yeah, I think that's all I had. There any more questions, or I think we can take a pause here. I share this deck as well so that you can probably go through it. But yeah, so whether you take e-commerce, whether you take any industry, journey map basically maps out every step of the user when they're using or navigating your product and what kind of pain points they're facing. And you define metrics, events at each step of the journey to measure drop-offs, acquisition, conversion, engagement, right? So these are all the different metrics you are measuring as a PM. And essentially, this is what you as a PM would be evaluated against, right? Let's say beginning of the year, you measure all these metrics, and end of the year, you again measure these metrics. Have you brought improvement in these metrics? What kind of changes you have implemented? It can be as simple as, let's say, changing the color of a button, but that is taken based on a data point which you observed on a journey map. And so you have a journey map and you overlap your data dashboard onto your journey map, and you realize that, okay, a lot of drop-offs are happening on step number 3, possibly because of such and such reasons, right? That is something you'll get on the data dashboard, right? Probably users are not able to understand. Let's say they're filling a form, or I talked about search results, right? They're searching by author name, they're not getting the search result. If they're searched by book name, they would have got it. Searching by author name, they're not getting the results, right? They're dropping off. Then you understand that from your data dashboard, why they're dropping off, because they're searching by author name. Then you build that solution, you fix it, and you see the conversion as it improved. If yes, then you as a PM are evaluated well, right? So because you have succeeded in improving a particular metric. So that's what journey maps are for. Journey maps helps in user research. Journey maps helps in overlapping with data dashboard. Journey maps helps in driving certain product decisions which you take based on what kind of pain points or problems your users are facing, right? So yeah, any other questions? All good?
Yeah, Vivek, thanks so much for sharing these insights. I was just very intrigued. Like, this is something different from what you have discussed. I
Mm-hmm.
just saw the page of APM and I saw how you have positioned APM as a platform to build a product by yourself. It's not just a product to show, but a functional product, right?
Yeah.
So it's very different as per the industry standards right now. People are offering courses, maybe some hand holding, but this is totally different.
Hmm.
So, did this came after doing a personal research or maybe a customer journey map, or are these features already decided and you wanted to do something in those legs? I just wanted to clarify that.
Interesting. So yeah, this was an outcome of, I wouldn't say journey map, but a lot of user research, right? So there are a lot of offerings which focus on the theoretical aspects of product management, and a lot of people we spoke to, I think close to 60 to 80 people that time, and most of them were talking about, we are, all these courses are good, we do these courses, but end of the day we don't have that practical experience on our CV, right? And that's where we are lacking. So I think that's a problem statement we identified and we set out to solve that, right? And that's why we focused on, although it was very operational, like we had to put in a lot of efforts to drive the entire this practical experience or practical boot camp, but end of the day the feedback was really good. It's, so we focus less on theory, focus more on helping people to build products, right? But again, the initial research is what helped us in finding that, and as a PM this is what is more important. You spend more time doing the research so that you basically identify the right problem to solve. So if you identify the right problem, then definitely your solution is going to work.
Absolutely, absolutely. I think that is what we also, as Accredian, we also try
Mm.
to balance there's a sweet balance between uh, theory and practical, right? And I think
Yes.
that's it. That is what you try to uh, do. But don't you think like you have defined the product so much, so in depth into level? Don't you think that it also reduces the total market there
Yeah.
is in the
Yeah.
market? Yeah,
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
does, right?
So we wanted to go niche. We're primarily looking at, people who have already learned product management, done the courses, but they
Right,
they just want to build a product and get that experience. What it is like to be a product manager, right? Experience that for
right.
it's more like a pseudo internship sort, but here you are the owner. You are driving everything yourself. We just give you a problem statement.
True.
So yeah.
Yeah. Thanks so much for sharing those experiences with us. I think people are really interested. I also learned to like couple of things here and there. First of all, that baseline part, what expectations we set earlier and where we want to go.
Yeah.
That's a huge leap for a PM. And then also, like I was very intrigued to know that the core persona, core idea for Zomato and platforms like Swiggy and Zomato was that people were trying to find relevant restaurants from where
Yeah.
they could order food, right? I used to think otherwise. I used to think like people wanted the food to come into their home or something like that. But yeah,
No.
I think that's a totally different perspective.
Yes.
So yeah, I think thanks a lot for you being here for
Thank you.
giving your valuable inputs. And I think people have also observed it, also absorbed it as well. And if you did, I think Vivek, you can share your LinkedIn ID in the chat box as well, so that
Yeah.
people can connect. People, you can ping Vivek as well if you want to take a screenshot or anything. You can ping him as well. You can say what you liked about this session, what could be done a bit better. You can also check out our LinkedIn page as well, uh, Accredian's LinkedIn page as well. And yeah, so Vivek has shared his LinkedIn ID. Uh,
I think not shared it with everyone. Let me
yeah,
reshare. Yeah.
it's So I think that will be a wrap for the day, right? Yeah, thanks Vivek again. Thanks
Thank
so
you.
much for
Thank you for
joining us
having me.
today. Yeah,
Thank you all.
and for our participants, we'll be bringing this kind of interactive sessions for you in the near future. So be connected. Be do follow us in our channels, in our social media channels as well. And yeah, that would be all for the day. Thank you so much. Thank you Vivek again once again.
Thank you.